Hi, everybody. This is Leah Fresh Astrology. We're redoing Leo because there was some kind of technical difficulty. All that talk about Mercury retrograde. I don't know.
It jinxed ourselves.
Yeah. So sorry about that. If people were trying to comment, we couldn't see it. And then we realized it really just kind of cut out. So we're back for Leo and looking at February 2020. And so going back to the Leo chart here. The Leo chart in terms of what's new. What's new is Mars is starting the month in Sagittarius. So it's a time when you might be putting energy into children, creative projects, a business you own that feels fun. So it's sort of like a creative project. It's a time when you're motivated to do things that feel fun to you. That's where you want to be putting your energy. And then Mars moves into Capricorn. So it's coming into this area, the 6th house, where you've had all this intensity with Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn, like everything in the kitchen sink has been in Capricorn over, December and January. And now Mars comes in. But of course, the sun has now left as we enter February. The sun is in your 7th house. Mercury's in your 7th house as we begin the month. And Venus is in your 8th house of finance and money. So it could be that you've been seeing a little bump in income or just a nice, maybe you found a great investment advisor. That it's a time when you see money and you might just have the Venus touch, when you're managing your money. So it's a nice place to have Venus in the 8th house. And also Venus will be moving from the 8th house during this month into the 9th house where we have Aries. And so it's Aries themes, 9th house themes. You might find that either somebody in your family is traveling who could be a female, or you are thinking about traveling or planning a fun trip or going on a fun trip, maybe unexpectedly. And there are also some unexpected things going on at work. So that's just kind of a thumbprint of the month. And then the threshold that's activated in this month, where there's kind of this open doorway, where there's some complex themes going on. It has to do with your relationships and your money. And they're not always directly intertwined, but I think at least in one area they are. So under a Mercury retrograde, as we have in February, and consider it on for the full month, even though the actual retrograde doesn't happen until the 16th, we're kind of on for the Mercury retrograde for the full month and into March. What I would say about this, given this in your 7th house going into your 8th house, is don't make any big money decisions during the month of February. Think about it, research, review, talk about it with trusted advisors, talk about it with any partners. So for example, I'm a rising Leo. So if I wanted to make a big marketing investment or hire somebody like a virtual assistant, I would need to talk about it with me and Carolyn, and we need to have some discussion, review, maybe crunch numbers. We'd have to think about it for a while, but we wouldn't want to actually do it. And we may not even really interview people, although you probably could interview people under a Mercury retrograde, but you would want to really take a kind of circumspect approach to anything like that. And certainly in terms of getting in and out of relationships, especially a long-term relationship, don't make any fast moves or decisions right now, because you might change your mind in a few weeks, and it could be heartbreaking, if you make a quick decision. So be careful of that. Use the time to stew if you need to. And that also goes for making a decision like, yes, we're getting married. Be careful of that too. You don't want to end a relationship or begin a relationship so quickly in February. Be careful and just take a little time with it. Sometimes a hard thing to do for a fire sign. I'm a rising Leo, so I understand. And during all of this stuff where you've got a lot going on at work, a lot of energy going into work, a lot of intensity in your daily schedule, partnership stuff, money stuff going on, you want to make sure you continue to take good care of yourself, whatever that means for you. And make sure you create time each day to take care of your health. So guys, as I talk about Leo, what do you think about in terms of coaching tools that might help these guys given where they are?
Well, I definitely think, mindset.
Mm-hmm.
We can always start with mindset because mindset influences relationships. If you're struggling, like you were saying, that to really think things through and be certain before you act, it's always great to have mindset tools in your toolbox to help you with those big, everything you mentioned is sort of a big life issue. Money, job, relationships, marriage, to get married, to not get married, to get out of a marriage. So
it seems like too, if it's a month when you're supposed to be kind of going slow and researching, mindset's a good thing to work on because you're trying to, for mindset really to become effective, you want to start making your mindset tools habits. And so it's a good time to sort of be practicing all of these.
And then you talked a lot about money as well. So it sounds like Leo could use maybe coaching around money. That would be a good partner tool. I always think about
actually coaching around money.
Partnering.
Yeah, I think mindset and money depends on which one's heavier. Like each Leo's going to have a unique circumstance,
right.
And so it could be one or the other or both.
And we have hefty tools that we offer. We have a money course that's really pretty. Is my word?
It's robust.
Robust. That's Carolyn's favorite word.
That's been my word for the month. Yeah, but it really is a robust course with lots of exercises and resources. But if you wanted to also try some of our free tools, we have a free 7-day bullet shift, 7-day money shift
bullet journal. It's a mouthful.
That just gives fun, very accessible tools to sort of shift the way you look at your money, what your relationship is to money. If you have any sort of icky feelings around money that you want to clean up, because we can repel money as much as hard as we are working to get money into our lives. We can also repel it. So that's a great tool. But we also have a 7-day mindset shift, which we call the happiness shift bullet journal, which is a lot of fun too. And it gives you some very accessible mindset tools to start, just kind of like an intro to what we do, about how we coach, but also the tools.
So Shantae said, hey, and then Patricia said she's planning a lot of self-care and home improvements. And Shantae said, yep, she needs to be working on her home improvements.
Interesting.
Which she can see the room. We're at Carolyn's house, and she's in a midst of home improvement.
So I just bought a home, and I'm doing a lot of fun projects, and it's all I can do to put my thoughts on anything else, because it's such a great thing to do. And self-care, of course, is my favorite thing in the whole world. I feel like you set yourself up for success by taking care of yourself. So.
Absolutely.
Well, I think home improvement is almost like a self-care, right?
It can be.
You have yourself in the right environment.
And I think it depends on the person. Like I'm such a homebody. My house means so much to me that is a form of self-care. Whereas I think other people, like I have friends who just really, it's like other things, like walking in nature is their thing, and they don't really care about the house as much. So I think it's just what speaks to you. But
definitely. Yeah, definitely. So it could be a form of self-care. You don't, to be honest, Leos don't, or Leo rising in particular, doesn't have an very activated 4th house, which is where you typically think of home repairs. However, 8th house, if you're thinking of how to invest your money in your house, and thinking of it as an investment, or it takes a significant investment, it could be 8th house related. Or if you do need to discuss with a partner who shares your space, then, I could see that there too. But if we think of it in terms of the money investment and the self-care, then it makes more sense.
When we get to my sign.
What's there? What's there?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just thinking, was there anything else we wanted to say? We do have the links below for the freebies, and to go check out our website, go check that out. And I think like the strongest thing here for me, I think there are 2 things. One is it seems like there's a big burst of energy later in the month that goes into like mid-month on. even though there's a Mercury retrograde around the same time, there's this big burst of energy around work. And maybe some surprise changes or levels of work, the capacity of work you're taking on. So that'll be interesting to see what that is. And then the other thing I see that's a biggie is being careful about relationship decisions and money decisions. Just if it's a big decision, to be a little bit circumspect through the month. Let's see. Oh, Patricia, running a B&B for my 2 Siamese cats and their servant. That's perfect. Yes.
It made my mind twist because my sister and I are looking at, I'm investing in a horse boarding bed and breakfast. So I was like, oh, she has a cat boarding bed and breakfast.
How does that work? What's your financial model, Patricia?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that B&B. So.
Yeah. All right.
That's
So thank
cute.
you guys for being here. We're just powering through. We're going to sit here and do all the signs. Thanks for showing up. And go check out our website, links below. Subscribe to me. If you're not, I would love it. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye, everyone.